Athens, 399 BCE. Socrates has just drunk the hemlock. His friends weep, and then he laughs. His oldest companion Crito asks how they should bury him. Socrates finds this hilarious. He has spent the entire afternoon arguing that the soul is immortal, and his friends are worried about what to do with the leftover husk. That laughter is not flippancy. It is the culmination of a lifetime's philosophy, a journey unlike any the ancient world had seen. Near the end of his life, Socrates describes two versions of the hero's journey. Consider Odysseus. He sailed across seas, fought monsters, wandered foreign lands for a decade. His was the great external Odyssey, measured in miles and shipwrecks. Socrates never left Athens, never boarded a ship, never drew a sword. His voyage was entirely internal, a spiritual journey of the soul conducted within the walls of a single city. The monsters he fought were ignorance, self-deception, complacency, and fear. Where Odysseus moved through physical space, Socrates moved through states of the soul. Each conversation in the agora was a new island. Each argument demolished was a Cyclops blinded. The traditional epic hero conquers the external world. Socrates conquers the internal one. Right? His life reimagines heroism itself. The greatest Odyssey requires no ship. Socrates makes this Odyssey concrete with a striking image. At death, the soul arrives at a fork in the road. One path twists and doubles back, dark, tangled, descending toward Hades. This road belongs to souls weighed down by moral confusion and attachment to the body. The other path is straight, luminous, ascending towards the gods. It belongs to the soul that has practiced virtue and lived the examined life. The philosopher's entire existence is preparation for this moment, choosing the straight road, not through blind faith or ritual, but through decades of relentless self-examination. This journey motif makes one small detail of Socrates' death profoundly significant. After drinking the hemlock, Socrates is told to walk around until his legs grow heavy. The final leg of the Odyssey, literal and figurative. As the poison rises, his legs fail. The body that carried him through decades of philosophical wandering now falls away. The long-anticipated separation of body and soul begins. The philosopher's Odyssey reaches its final shore, not a foreign beach, but the threshold between flesh and spirit. It is in this moment, body failing, Odyssey completing, that Crito asks his question. How should we bury you? And Socrates laughs. In Plato's Phaedo, at passage 115c, the laughter is recorded plainly. Crito's question is not foolish in ordinary terms. Burial is a practical concern. But Socrates sees the cosmic absurdity. He has argued for hours that the soul survives death, that the body is a prison, that the philosopher's entire life is preparation for this release, and yet his friends are still worrying about the container. Do whatever you wish with it, he says. The soul cannot be buried. It is going to the gods. To grasp this laughter, place it alongside the other great spiritual response to mortality in the Western tradition. Jesus never laughs in the Gospels. His concession to the human condition is weeping, tears at the tomb of Lazarus, anguish in Gethsemane. Those tears acknowledge life as defined by sorrow and the pull of sin. Socrates makes his concession through laughter, an acknowledgement that human life unfolds within a veil of illusion. For Jesus, genuine knowledge of the human condition produces compassion and the promise of redemption. For Socrates, it produces comic clarity and liberation through inquiry. Neither response is dismissive. Both are profoundly human. They point in different directions. Socrates' laughter is not ordinary humor. It is not the comedy of the stage. In Aristophanes' plays, characters are funny because they lack self-knowledge. They are buffoons, ridiculous from the outside. Socrates inverts this entirely. He is the cosmic comic hero. Funny not because of his deficiencies, but because everyone around him is absurd and doesn't know it. His comedy comes from superiority to illusion, not from wallowing in it. Plato captures this paradox in the Laws at passage 803. There is nothing especially serious about human life, yet the pity of it is that human beings are nonetheless required to take some part of it seriously. This is the divine comic perspective. Play the game while knowing it is a game. Socrates occupies a quasi-divine position. He possesses a daimonion, an inner divine sign, a kind of spiritual intuition that warns him away from error. Ordinary people cannot fully become Socrates, but they can approach his example asymptotically, that is, drawing ever closer through sustained inquiry and spiritual cultivation without ever fully arriving. The examined life is not a destination. It is a direction, an infinite approach toward wisdom that gives the journey its meaning. Socrates' life redefines heroism. The greatest Odyssey is internal. His death redefines comedy. The deepest laughter comes from seeing through illusion. His legacy redefines wisdom. Not a set of answers, but a way of living. Continuous inquiry, self-perfection, the relentless pursuit of virtue. The immortality of the soul cannot be definitively proven in the Phaedo, but that is almost the point. If you have tended your soul, if you have lived the examined life, death holds no terror. Nothing in life need be genuinely daunting. The examined life does not promise final answers. It promises something more durable, a soul prepared for whatever comes. Socrates walks on heavy legs, laughing, completing the longest and shortest Odyssey ever undertaken. A journey that never left the city but traveled farther than any ship. His laughter echoes, not as mockery, but as the sound of a soul that found the straight road.